And welcome to Technology Tap. I'm Professor J-Rod. Let's continue with the questions by popular demand. Let's do more questions on the 1101 A Plus exam. Let's get to it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to Technology Tap. I'm Professor J-Rod, for those of you listening for the first time. In this podcast, we do a lot of emphasis on the CompTIA exams. Right now, we're going to do the CompTIA A+, the 1101, the one that came out in October of 2022. But before we get to the 6 questions, I just want to remind you, if you are interested, first of all, you got to be in the New York area, actually a resident of New York State. If you are a resident of New York State and you're interested in taking a free network/cloud and Cloud Plus exam, please email me at professorjrod@gmail.com. There are some limitations, qualifications that you must have. You cannot be working full time. You have to be working, either underemployed or unemployed. And if you are attending school, you cannot, and you're under the age of 25, you cannot be receiving any type of financial aid. But if you're paying for it on your own, or if you're paying for it via student loan, and you're underemployed or not employed at all, you do qualify. My military vets out there, it's a whole different qualifications. If you're interested, let me know. Email me at professorjrod@gmail.com. You guys fall on a totally different category. This is not something that I'm doing. It's something that my mentor, she's doing. And she asked me if I can, spread the word around. So I've been, doing that for her. She's the one who got me interested in, who suggested I should be a teacher. Hence the Professor J-Rod and these podcasts. All right. So we have another 6 questions on the A Plus 1101. If you want to follow along, you can go to professorjrod.com. And on the right-hand side, there's different pages. You just look for the page that says CompTIA, page 3 questions. But I will have it linked to the bio of this podcast. So you can just click on the link, and it'll take you to the website, and you can follow along with these 6 questions. All right. Question number 1. An online retailer would like to add capacity to support increased sales. Additional services have been installed. Which of the following should be used to ensure that each new server is being properly utilized? A, virtualization. B, clustering. C, load balancing. And D, round robin DNS. Well, the big clue here is, and like I always say, with CompTIA, there's always clues, and not always, but most of the time, there are clues in the question. So in this one, is each new server being properly utilized? So now that you know that that's the clue, what do you think the answer should be? And here are the choices again. A, virtualization. B, clustering. C, load balancing. And D, round robin DNS. Well, the answer is load balancing, right? You want to make sure that each server takes a turn running the show. So you want to make sure it's low balancing. So it's C, low balancing. Very good. Next question. A user reports that a cell phone is getting hot. Which of the following are most likely to be the possible cause? Now here you have to select 3. So let me go through it. A, using the device as a hotspot. B, a cracked screen. C, a failing battery. D, less than 15% of free storage space on the phone. E, privilege control. F, recurring prompts to install OS updates. G, granting too many application camera permissions. And H, too many open applications. Now, out of these 8 choices, you have to choose 3. User reports a cell phone is getting hot. Which of the following are most likely to be the cause of the problem? Well, using the device as a hotspot surely is one of those issues. A cracked screen will not do this. A failing battery will cause the phone to get hot. Less than 15% storage space on the phone? Nope, that's not it. Privilege control? Nope, that's not it either. Recurring prompts to install OS updates? Nope. Granting too many application camera permissions? That shouldn't have anything to do with it. Too many apps open? Yes. So if you're following along on the website, the answer is A, C, and H. A, using the device as a hotspot. C, a failing battery. And H, too many open applications. All right, next. Question number 3. A technician receives a ticket that states a mobile payment device is having issues with its contactless payment feature. The device is not detecting payment options. Which of the following is the most likely cause of the issue? A, Bluetooth. B, NFC. C, Wi-Fi. D, Lightning adapter. Lightning adapter. Right? So, mobile payment device. What's an example of mobile payment device? Well, Apple Pay, right? Google Pay, right? If you go to Dunkin' Donuts, which is one of my favorite places, right? And you can pay with the app, right? So which one of these do you think is the problem? Bluetooth, NFC, Wi-Fi, or Lightning adapter? Well, the answer is NFC, near field communication. That's really what enables them to charge you off your phone. Is the near field communication. So you got to make sure that that's on or that's working. That's the issue that this user is having. All right, NFC, near field communication. All right, next, number 4. Vertical streaks are appearing on the output of a laser printer. Which of the following items is the most likely cause? A, the rotor. B, the drum. C, the transfer belt. Or D, the ribbon. Well, right away you can take out the ribbon because there is no ribbon in laser printers. Right? So then when you left with router, drum, and the transfer belt. And the answer is the drum, B. I actually have that on my laser printer that I currently have. I have a streak on one side of the pages, and it's because of the drum. But because I only print for my house, inside here, there's no need for me to. I'm not gonna go and replace it, though that is being a little cheap. I should get that fixed. All right. So vertical streaks are appearing on the output of a laser printer. Which of the following items is the most likely cause? Is B, drum. All right, next question. Question number 5. A user takes a tablet to a technician because the cursor on it keeps drifting. The technician noticed the screen does not appear to be damaged. Which of the following is most likely cause of the cursor error? A. The screen is physically damaged. B. The screen rotation is incorrect. C. The touch pen battery is depleted. And D. The screen needs to be recalibrated. So the issue here is the cursor keeps drifting, right? So when that happens, what do you think it is? The screen is physically damaged? No, because you can still see it. The screen rotation is incorrect. Doesn't really tell you anything about the screen rotation, right? There's nothing in there that refers to that. It doesn't tell you that anything with a touch pen, because with a tablet you can use a touch pen or your finger. So the answer you're left with is D. The screen needs to be recalibrated. Screen needs to be recalibrated. All right. Yeah, I once had a student tell me that they like the way I read it. He says like he'll read it and then he'll get like the wrong answer and then I'll read it. He said, well, the way you read it, it makes sense, but you know. All right, last one, ladies and gentlemen. A user working in the field reported the GPS stopped working on the phone. The user's older in-car GPS, wow, who has those nowadays, continues to work. Later, the user reported that the phone's GPS started working again. Which of the following most likely caused the GPS to fail? Honestly, this is a tough one. I'm going to give you the answers. A, the cell phone was in battery saver mode. B, the cell phone has lost service to the earner. C, the cell phone received a firmware update. And D, the cell phone had overheated. One thing I like to tell my students about the CompTIA exam is take what they give you. Don't put like your own narrative into the questions, because when you start doing that, that's when the second doubting comes and choosing of the wrong answers. That's when all that comes in. So you might be better off just reading the question again, right? And take what CompTIA gives you. Don't put your own stuff, especially your personal stuff, in it. That usually doesn't work. All right, a user working in the field reported the GPS stopped working on a phone. The user's older in-car GPS continued to function, which I don't know why they have that there. That's a MacGuffin. Ignore that. Later, the user reported that the phone's GPS started working again. Which of the following most likely caused the phone GPS to fail? It failed temporarily. A, the cell phone was in battery saver mode. The cell phone lost service to the earner. The cell phone received a firmware update. Don't think it's that. There's nowhere here that it said that. D, the cell phone had overheated. There's nowhere in the question that it says that it overheated. So you pretty much stuck with A and B. You know, possibly it was in battery save mode, or lost service to the owner. Not telling you much with the questions, but if I had to guess at one of those two, I would guess A, that the cell phone was in battery saver mode. I think that's the one that's most likely is going to be the answer. All right, that'll do it. Nice, short, 6 questions podcast that I got for you. Remember, if you are in the New York State area and you're interested in taking a Network Plus Cloud Plus class, email me for free. Email me at professorjrod@gmail.com. We'll see you next time. This has been a presentation of Little Chacha Productions, art by Jokum, music by Jokum, art by Sarah. If you want to reach me, you can reach me at professorjrod@gmail.com.